County Sheriff. My name is Ollie Hubbard, and this is a moment that means a great deal to me. Today, I have the honor of standing before you to recognize a man who has not only dedicated his life fighting for justice for the innocent, but he has personally left his footprints on my heart. Jason Gore isn't just an ATF agent. He is one of us. He is from this community. He has made his life's work to protect the people who call this place our home. Jason has spent his career fighting for the people who needed him most, the victims, the families, and the ones that were left behind helpless after violence shattered their world. I, unfortunately, was one of the helpless ones. A grieving mother who lost her 16-year-old innocent daughter to gang violence, a parent's worst nightmare. The pain that no parent should ever have to endure. And for many years, 3 years to be exact, there were no answers, only questions, only heartbreak, only grief. But Jason never gave up. He refused to let my daughter, Lauren, just be a name on a file in an office. He did not let her case go cold. He worked tirelessly, following every lead, refusing to stop until justice was served, not only for my daughter that was murdered that day, but for Chris White as well. He was another victim of that day's violence. And because of his determination, my daughter's case was solved, and those that were responsible were brought to justice 9 years later, to be exact. He did not stop fighting. He was there the day of the sentencings to make sure that they got due justice. And for that, I am forever indebted to Jason. My family isn't the only family that he has fought for. There are so many other victims and families that he has brought justice to. Jason has taken on the worst of the worst criminals. He has broken up some of the most dangerous gangs in the area, and he has made our streets safer for our children and our families. And now it is my great honor to introduce a man who has spent his life fighting for justice, protecting our community, and making our streets safer. He is not a politician. He is a leader, a public servant, and someone who has always put the people first. There is no one more qualified or committed to this role than Jason Gore. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our next Lake County Sheriff, Jason Gore. There is one thing I wanted to give Jason. He didn't know this. This is from the victims and the families, and we want him to do us the honor of placing this in his sheriff's office. Will you accept this award, Jason, in memory of all the victims that you have fought for and families that you have given justice to? We love you, and you are forever our hero.
Well, thank you, Ollie. This is beautiful. Just to read it to everybody, this is completely unknown to me. It says, above and beyond, Jason M. Gore, ASAP, your unwavering dedication to protecting our communities and seeking justice for our loved ones is honored by the victims and their families. I also have to say that many of the men standing in this room partnered with me in a lot of those endeavors, so a debt of gratitude be paid to them as well.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much. It means a lot.
Thank you.
How about that, huh? I definitely was not expecting that. Good afternoon and welcome to Gary, Indiana, the Gary Airport, and the Sage Popovich Hangar. Let me start by thanking Ms. Ollie Hubbard for her kind words and introduction. It's an honor to have her here with me on this day. I would also like to thank everyone here today for taking time out of their busy schedules to come out and attend this event. Equally, I would like to thank Nick and Angie Popovich, owners of Sage Popovich, and all the employees for hosting this event. My name is Jason Gore, and I am announcing my candidacy for Lake County Sheriff. My decision to run for this office is not made entirely on my own. It's a family decision, supported by my wife, Tracy Gore, my son, Cody Gore, his wife, Bree Gore, my youngest son, Chris Ruiz, my mother, Darlene Gore, my stepfather, Walter Lesniak, and my grandchildren, Claire, Reed, and Graham. Thank you all for your continued inspiration and love. So, a bit about myself and why I am running to be the next Lake County Sheriff. I was born and raised in Hammond, Indiana. My mom, a single mother, worked long hours to earn money to provide and take care of me. My mother's hard work has served as a source of inspiration for me, and her work ethic lives inside me. I graduated from Hammond High in 1990 and earned a BA in Sociology and Criminal Justice from Purdue University Northwest in 1995. And in 2013, I earned a master's degree in public administration. In 1998, I was hired by the Maryville Police Department as a patrol officer. In 2000, I was promoted to detective and assigned to the DEA task force, working middle and upper level drug trafficking cases. I was a member of the Maryville Police Department SWAT team for over 4 years. This team eventually became what we all know as the NWI Regional SWAT. In 2004, I was hired as a special agent with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF, and assigned to start a violent crimes task force in South Bend, Indiana. While there, I worked out of the St. Joseph County Metro Homicide Unit, assisting with the investigations of homicides and other violent crimes committed in the city of South Bend. The outcome of this partnership resulted in dozens of state and federal criminal prosecutions, leading to a homicide clearance rate of 75%, and the apprehension of violent individuals and members of violent groups and organizations that are driving the violence in South Bend. In 2008, I transferred to the ATF Maryville Field Office, which covers the 12 northwestern counties in Indiana. Upon arrival, I started working violent crimes, explosive cases, firearms, and drug trafficking cases. Most of the time in partnership with many great local detectives and police agencies, especially Hammond, East Chicago, and Gary. In 2010, I was invited to join the Northwest Indiana Major Crimes Task Force, a cohort of detectives and investigators from police agencies across Lake and Porter County. The task force's mission was, when contacted, to help investigate violent crimes and high-profile crimes such as homicides and police-involved shootings. In 2014, I became the deputy commander of the Major Crimes Task Force, tasked with leading the group on several investigations, most notably the 2014 murder of Officer Jeffrey Westerfield of the Gary Police Department, and then later, Officer Nick Schultz of the Maryville Police Department. But my real passion began in 2010, when I became the ATF case agent into the RICO investigation of the Imperial Gangster Street Gang in East Chicago, Indiana. This investigative group mainly comprised of the U.S. Attorney's Office, ATF, FBI, and the East Chicago Police Department, worked to dismantle the Imperial Gangster Street Gang and indicted 24 of its members for crimes under RICO, to include murder, attempted murder, drug trafficking, and other crimes. But more importantly, we solved 17 homicides and dozens of shootings, mostly in East Chicago, but also in Hammond and Gary. This case culminated into a 3.5-month death penalty trial against one member of the organization for RICO, drug trafficking, 6 murders, and multiple shootings. The suspect Juan Bersinio, was convicted and received 6 life sentences. This case became the starting point for me to be the case agent in 4 additional RICO cases in Lake County against the 26th Street Gang, the Latin King Street Gang, the Latin Count Street Gang, and the Latin Dragon Street Gang. All totaling, the federal prosecution of nearly 100 gang members operating in Hammond, Gary, and East Chicago, and solving over 40 homicides in Hammond, Gary, East Chicago, and the city of Chicago. 2 of these murders being the 2015 murders of Miss Hubbard's daughter, Lauren Cavilla, and Christopher White in Hammond, Indiana. In 2017, I was promoted to the rank of resident agent in charge of the ATF Maryville Field Office with a direct order to do all I could do to reduce violent crime in the 12 counties that comprise the area of responsibility of the Maryville Field Office. As a resident agent in charge, I created the Northwest Indiana Violent Crimes Task Force. This task force is comprised of ATF special agents and task force officers from multiple departments, mainly in Lake County, to work with the long-established ATF HIDA task force to identify persons and groups driving violent crime in Lake County. The Maryville Field Office, staffed with highly talented, motivated agents and task force officers, and under my command, became one of the most successful ATF offices in the country, in part by utilizing crime gun intelligence, human intelligence, strong partnerships to target and perfect criminal cases against violent persons and groups who are possessing, utilizing, and trafficking firearms. One such investigation is that of the Sin City Disciple Motorcycle Club. This violent organization originally was started in Gary and currently has chapters in 40 states. In late 2021, the ATF Maryville Field Office, under my command, executed 24 arrests and search warrants simultaneously on the residence of Sin City club members and the clubhouse here in Lake County, and also in 5 states across the United States. We utilized a dozen federal, state, and local tactical teams. On that day, there were 250 plus ATF agents, task force officers, and police officers working in Lake County, collecting 1,000 pieces of evidence. All operations were completed without any injury to the public, law enforcement, or suspects, a testament to the level of planning and professionalism exhibited by all. In 2023, I became the Assistant Special Agent in charge of the Chicago Field Division for ATF, placing under my command 8 ATF field offices and satellite offices across 90 counties in northern Indiana and in central and northern Illinois. These groups police approximately 3.7 million people daily and are all tasked with reducing violent crime in each of their respective areas. In 2024, I was asked to be the on-scene commander for the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Illinois. In this position, I worked with my peers from FBI, Secret Service, Capitol Police, Chicago Police, and the Illinois State Police to create and execute plans to secure the DNC and multiple other venues across the city of Chicago. Through the utilization of ATF agents, canine handlers, certified explosives specialists, intel research specialists, and ATF tactical teams in and around the United Center and McCormick Place that housed DNC, and with strong partnerships and communication, the DNC, all the attendees, elected officials, and VIPs were secured, and the event went off with few issues. On March 7, 2025, I retired from the ATF. So why do I want to be the sheriff? For the past 21 years, I've received some of the best training offered in law enforcement. I've attended complex investigation schools, leadership training such as Leadership and Command at the United States Army War College, and at the International Associations of Chiefs of Police executive leadership training located at the U.S. Army, the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado. I have instructed internationally, teaching police from Mexico, Central and South America at the International Law Enforcement Academy in El Salvador. And I have assisted in teaching assistant U.S. attorneys from across the country on how to investigate street gangs and criminal organizations utilizing the RICO statute. But most importantly, I have worked with 200 plus police and sheriff's departments across the country. I have seen good and bad policing. I've seen firsthand how good police leadership and partnerships in intel-led policing reduces crime and helps police officers in the communities they serve. My goal as your elected sheriff is to combine all my training, experience, partnerships, successes, both as a local police officer here in Lake County and followed by a 21-year career as a federal agent, and bring it home with the single goal of making Lake County a safer place to live and work. It would be an honor to serve as your sheriff and give back to our community for all it has given me. But how is this achieved? The focus of this campaign in my term as sheriff will be based on 6 pillars: leadership, partnership, intelligence and technology, crime reduction strategies, accountability, and transparency. Each pillar is a culmination of my training, experience, observations, and lessons learned from decades of interactions with the most successful, progressive police departments in the United States. My mission will be to develop a sheriff's department that is professional, nimble, motivated, and effective in identifying and fighting crime with the single goal of making Lake County a safer place to live and work. Remember, people cannot feel free unless they feel safe. The pillars. The first one is, I'm speaking directly to the men and women of the Lake County Sheriff's Department. Leadership. I will modernize outdated top-down leadership structures. Today's police officers are more educated, better trained, and better equipped than any officer in American history. Yet, they are led by the same antiquated styles of leadership from the past. As sheriff, this will change. I will be a servant leader, focused on professional development, fair treatment, and growth. Every day, I will serve the greatest asset of the Sheriff's Department, the men and women who comprise the Sheriff's Department, corrections, and administrative staff, with a focus on developing tomorrow's leaders today and providing and treating each person in a professional manner. I will base promotions, assignments, training opportunities on merit and job performance. I will uphold the highest standards of professionalism on and off duty. As a forward-facing leader of the Sheriff's Department, internally I will represent all under my command honorably and promise to never compromise, embarrass, or tarnish the Lake County Sheriff's badge. Externally to the public, I will conduct myself in such a manner that the citizens of Lake County will be assured that they have an honest and ethical, competent sheriff. Partnership. I will make the Lake County Sheriff's Department the best partner to local, state, and federal agencies as possible. Understanding that any success in law enforcement is achieved through partnerships, I will focus on fostering relationships with all the chiefs of police and the leaders of the state and federal agencies. I will work with the Lake County Prosecutor's Office and the United States Attorney's Office to ensure proper and complete prosecution of cases presented. Additionally, I will develop relationships and partner with any civic, religious, cultural, political groups or organizations to better improve communication and relationships. And I will utilize the department's unique resources in a smart, efficient manner to support public safety. Intelligence and technology. I will prioritize intelligence-led policing to impact crime and work all sources of criminal intelligence. This process will help police officers and investigators working in the street. I will utilize crime data to ensure the proper targeting of persons and groups that are driving the violence in Lake County. Through intel, we will police for impact, not for statistical outcomes. And I will obtain advanced technologies and establish an intelligence center that will produce data that is timely and actionable. Crime reduction strategies. I will collaborate with all law enforcement agencies in Lake County to develop targeted crime reduction strategies by identifying current and emerging criminal threats in Lake County. I will regularly evaluate strategies for effectiveness, accountability, and transparency. I will share strategies with the public to demonstrate commitment to safety. Accountability. First off, accountability begins at my desk as the sheriff. But moving beyond that, I will foster a thorough and transparent process for evaluating officers' actions, both good or bad, provide officers feedback and development, and provide the public with the whys for police actions. I will provide growth opportunities and training while addressing improper and unethical behavior. Transparency. I will maintain the public's trust through consistent sharing of non-sensitive law enforcement information. I will ensure transparency in police actions, finances, and law enforcement matters. In closing, today marks a new era in leadership at the Lake County Sheriff's Department. Lake County is at the forefront of economic success in Indiana and is one of the most diverse and prosperous counties in Indiana with a growing and bright future. As your sheriff, I will develop a department that will provide a level of safety and crime reduction necessary for future prosperity for the citizens of this county. But I can't do it without your help. I need everybody's voice, telling all your friends and family, coworkers from all corners of Lake County about this campaign. But most importantly, I need your vote. May 2026 sounds like a long time away, but it's just around the corner. And I look forward to meeting, talking, and working with everybody here in this room throughout the course of this campaign. My first fundraiser will be May 22nd, right here at the Sage Papa Casino. More details to follow. To learn more about this campaign, volunteer, get yard signs, or donate, please visit my website at jasongoreforsheriff.com. Thank you. Now this is over, I want to say thanks to everybody for coming out. This is a beautiful hangar, and it's a very big day in my life, a big day for Lake County, so thank you for coming out and supporting.